Alright, episode 9, game 16, I believe, of Merchant Adventure, a free online political and economic strategy game that takes place in the late medieval and Renaissance times. Now, we are about to invest in Rome after a very terrible game that I've had so far. Making a huge mistake. I had a bond that I sold early in the game to the Portuguese government that collected only one annuity per year, one coin annuity. However, I didn't play for like hundreds of years, so now I'm back and I had to pay off over 500 coins worth of debt total. But I did that, and then I collected my first dividend payment. And one of my vessels out here in England, just returning from Scandinavia after trading. And this one down in North Africa, buying these cheap goods right now. Heading back up to Portugal to sell those. Portuguese economy extremely strong right now. Got some Scandinavian goods. And now we're, like I say, we're about to invest in the realms. We've collected our dividend payments. We're probably going to make another one. What else here? Our treasury is 24. Yeah, we're going to make another one. But before we invest in Rome, we have to buy an office in Rome because we're from Portugal. If you want to invest in foreign states, you must buy an office in it. But you do not need an office in your home state. You can invest in with any entity you control of your own state without an office. You can invest with and invest in any entity that has investments from Portugal, from your own state. But once you buy an office in another state, any of your entities or you can invest in any entities of that state. Alright, we're heading to Portugal with all these goods, and then after that we're going to make the dividend payment. Then we're going to head back down to the southern Europe after a long journey with this vessel. $123 seconds left in the year. So I've had to do way more trading than I normally would have to do this game because of that big bond mistake. Right now I would have an extreme amount of wealth if it wasn't for that. But it's okay. We're going to recover from it. Or we have recovered from it, and we're about to get some extra investment in. And then we'll call it a game because it's... Oh, we'll probably call it a game. We'll check in tomorrow to make sure we're still in first place. If so, then we'll call it a game. So we had 3 or 4 boats running around. Now we're down to 2 because we docked the other ones because we don't need them anymore. We're making too much money. It's just a waste of time at that point to have those little ones running around. And then this one right here will also be decommissioned pretty soon. Yeah, I can't sell. This is still the Midwest, so I gotta go more further south. It'll be decommissioned soon, and then we'll only be trading with this one because we won't need to be trading up here in Europe. We'll just do all our trading in Africa. It's more, you get more money, generally speaking. And we do not need to control the Umayyad anymore either, unless a plague happens in Abbas. If a plague happens in Abbas, then we're going to invade Abbas and we're going to build it back up, because I don't have control over that civilization. So we would be trading with a very weak economic power if it gets hit by a flag. So we would invade it with the Umayyad and then build it back up and then have a more powerful trading company, or trading partner. Alright, here we go. We're going to sell. And we're going to make a manual dividend payment. Okay, we're only going to buy one of these at a time here. See if we can. I think I went too soon. That's still going to be. All right, so let's go into the. Actually, yeah, let's go into the bourse here. Shareholders, dividend payment. I hold all the shares. Exit Portugal. I'm going to pay 100%. Oh, 10% is the most I can do. That's 10% per share, I believe. We'll find out. So that's a total of 100%, I think. Company X of Portugal makes dividend payment of 10 coins per share, 100 coins. So yeah, that's what it is. It's 10%. So I had over 100, but you gotta have at least 1 coin per outstanding share, and I have 10 outstanding shares. Okay, so now I believe my family has about 200 coins. So let's go over and check that out right after this. Yeah, this has already been used. So, well, I think we're just going to head back to Portugal and dock this boat. We'll sell everything there. Alright, let's go ahead and do this then. First we need to go to the main screen. We have to sign into our family account. And we will... go to offices, and we need to purchase an office in Rome. How much is it? It's only 3 coins. That's how strong our economy is. That's incredibly strong. So we're going to purchase that. Whew, that's cheap. Okay. And then we're going to go to the bourse, industrial shares, and now we can invest in Rome instead of just Portugal. So there's 3 outstanding shares so far. We're just going to boost that up. So if anyone buys things there, our investments will go up like crazy. We're going to put all our money into it. So Rome has as much potential as Portugal. 800 infrastructure. So that's good. Let's see if there's any merchant shares or no, there's nothing, no associations from Rome are selling. We're just gonna, how much do we got? I think we got over 200, or about 200 anyway. So, now usually buying shares, industrial shares, doesn't boost up the price, but so yeah, we just spent all our money. But when goods, and especially boats, watercraft, and armies are bought there, that will boost the infrastructure and also boost the price like crazy. So you can make some pretty good money investing. Alright, let's head back to Portugal. Let's check our markets first. Portuguese markets. Okay, looking pretty good. These things seem to be going up too slow. There might be a bug there, I don't know, because our infrastructure is really high. Okay, then we're going to go back into our company, and we are going to go to Africa here. Oh yeah, we also want to check Rome real quick, since we do have a boat waiting there. Okay, so their infrastructure went from 16 to 217, and then this price is going to start going down like crazy. It was at 6 something before, so now it's down at 4.3. The tax rate, or the tariff rate over here is, if I buy something here, is going to be 0.4 more to add on, and that would go to Rome. And then all these prices will be recovering, even this one. That one's going to be very slow, but these will recover quite quickly. Alright, so we're just going to wait there for a bit. And we'll wait there for one more year. For the rest of this year, we'll just trade. And then we should be sitting pretty, I think, for the rest of the game. Yeah, so I can go to, I won't even bother stopping at Arles. I'm just going to go straight to Portugal with this and dock it there after I sell the goods. And then this guy will just go back and forth for the rest of the year. And then we should be in a good shape. After this, let's go ahead and check our financials and our score. Okay, so our score is 235.1. We're in first place by quite a margin. Doesn't mean that we couldn't lose that position, but the thing is, the player of Rome is the one that could catch up to us, but as they grow and build, they're going to be contributing to our investments because we have invested in the infrastructure of Rome. So anything they buy is going to be boosting our share price and our net worth. They could still overcome us if we don't play and they do a lot of work, but it's unlikely. So let's sell this. But I will check back tomorrow to make sure. So we're going to buy 5 goods here. And essentially, once this thing gets back to port, our game is going to be over for now. And we can view it as a success after that terrible bond problem. Which is exactly why you don't invest in one thing. Or one of the reasons. One of the several reasons you don't invest just everything in one association. Oh yeah, I gotta check my network. I want to look at all the details in a minute here. So we're about to get a big payoff from North Africa and from Midwestern Europe. Precisely England. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd pretty much be retired from trading by now. Everything I'd be doing would be investing or political. And maybe some conquest with a non-European power as well, if there were other players I wanted to take down or limit their power or whatever. Alright, let's check this real quick. Net worth. So our pieces, we have 2 boats, 2 vessels. We have our net worth is 51, book value per share 5.1. Shareholders, all my Company bondholders, none. Which used to be the Portuguese government, which the bond was worth over 500. Industries of Portugal, ours. Whoa. This is not correct. Okay, so I just found a bug. Yeah, it doesn't show my, let's see, let's look at this net worth. Shareholders. Share portfolio, oh, 0. It's not even counting that. Huh. Yeah, that's not right. I think maybe it's just this. I'm not sure. Because if you look at my score, it's way high, so I think just the profile's wrong. That's interesting. Okay, well, that's good to know that bug's there, so I can get that fixed as soon as possible. I'm working on 1 million games, and that's a pretty small bug, but it's not affecting the score. So yeah, I can tell it's not affecting the score because if you look at my score, it's super high, so it's counting all that. But for some reason on the profile, it's not displaying. Oh, wait a second. Am I just a complete idiot? Yeah, I'm an idiot. Again, I'm just being stupid. Okay. I'm not even in the right entity. I'm trying to look at my personal network, not my associations. Okay. There we go. Industries of Rome. There's no bug. I'm just being stupid. There it is. Okay. So Industries of Rome I'm invested in, and Company X of Portugal. Yeah. Great. That's not the first time I've done that. Not the first time. So everything's looking good. No bug there. I'm gonna worry about it. Okay, heading into Portugal now. As we conclude our game. And we'll be getting there right as the year ends about. So that's fine. Because we do want to check on the markets once more before we end the game in Rome to see our progress. So I can't remember the exact amount, but a good was about 6 point something before we invested in it. Then it went down to 4 points again. We'll see how low we can get it at a reasonable level after this. Okay, sell this. Okay. Actually, I don't even want to do any more trading right now. I'm just going to leave this guy here in case I need it tomorrow. I'm just going to bring this guy into port, sell these goods. And then I'm going to make one more investment into Rome before we check the markets. And then we'll see how low that price gets. Treasury is at 93, so we're going to be able to put a considerable more amount into Rome. And yeah, if it was earlier in the game, I would still do that. Say it was just me and another person playing the game, I would just invest in Rome, so they would build that up. And if another player came in the game, I could sell some of those shares after the Rome shares increased, and then buy an office or wherever the other players play, and buy those industrial shares. Oh yeah, one thing to keep in mind is that the other players, they started after me, so they're going to be getting a handicap on their score. So I'm not as much in the lead as it looks. How much, I don't know, but I could only imagine it's a considerable amount, but not enough to catch up to me, at least not with their current score. Okay, let's sell this. Okay, so that should do that. Wait. Go. We can only wait with one. Okay, so we need at least one active piece, I guess. So our treasury is at 150. Let's go to the bourse. We're going to make this bond payment. Shareholders dividend payment. We're going to pay 10% per share, which is 100% of our money possible. And yes, 2.5. All right. So we're going to go. Oops. Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, I'm going to go into the family account. And we have 155. Let's go to the bourse and we're going to invest in Rome some more. Industrial shares. Look at this. That's one thing you do have to be careful about when you're investing in industrial shares, especially if you care about one state being powerful than the other. Is if you invest too much, well, their infrastructure is going to catch up to yours, so you got to be careful with that. But in this case, I don't care. So I'm just going to put 100% of my money into this. Alright, there we go. So we're just about done with 1547. Let's go to Portugal. We got 15 seconds to wait. We cannot walk into water. Oh wait, I got a whole bunch of guys here. Let's just see what kind of graphics we got while we're waiting. I think we got 2. Oh no, there's another one. Okay, have my fun with that. Let's go to market. Okay, prices recovered. Yeah, this is going really slow. I think there's gotta be something wrong with that. I gotta look into that. Okay. Well, actually, I did just sell a whole bunch, so maybe not. Maybe it's pretty accurate. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my association, and I'm going to look at my boat in Rome. Let's wait here. Pieces. The one in Rome. You look at your location here. And the grand total is down to 2.7, so 369.5 infrastructure. Now it's only 2.7 for a good here, which is a completely reasonable price. And the demand for all these are going up. This one will eventually go up if I would keep checking, but it'd be a while. The game's almost over, so I don't think there's much hope for mid-central goods in Rome this game for the rest of this game, but other ones do have some potential. And we're going to take a look at the score to see where we're at, 380. So I will check tomorrow. If I'm still in first place tomorrow, I'm by a considerable margin. I'm not going to play anymore. But I finally got out of debt and solved that problem. So thanks for watching.